Walnut Creek has become a pedestrian-friendly community in recent years. New technology and smart planning have helped to make Walnut Creek a safe place for pedestrians to be, even with an ever-growing number of motorists making their way to a downtown abundant with stores, theaters, and restaurants. 2 years ago, Walnut Creek introduced audible signals at 6 intersections to assist visually impaired pedestrians. In 1999, Walnut Creek was the first city in the region to install reflective lime green signs near schools for easier visibility by motorists. We were also the first to introduce in-pavement pedestrian-activated warning devices at key mid-block crosswalks. Another improvement is the large buttons found at many crosswalks. These oversized buttons are helpful to disabled pedestrians and meet federal Americans with Disabilities Act guidelines. Perhaps the most visible pedestrian improvement is the Iron Horse Trail overcrossing on Ignacio Valley Road, which enables thousands of children and adults to traverse the busy 6-lane boulevard safely and without stopping traffic at the Civic Drive signal.
We're excited about the introduction of this new countdown pedestrian signals in the city because it helps clarify the most misunderstood traffic control device for pedestrians.
The latest pedestrian safety improvement is a unique countdown signal that is being installed at 20 intersections in the downtown and at selected crossings along Ignacio Valley Road. The familiar images of a white walking figure and a red hand are now accompanied by a visible countdown that helps pedestrians to know just how much time they have to cross the street. If a pedestrian is already in the crosswalk when the flashing red hand appears, then the numerical countdown shows how much time they have before the light turns red. If a person has not yet entered the crosswalk when the red hand begins to flash, it means there isn't enough time to cross safely.
We put a lot of emphasis on pedestrian safety throughout the city. It gets particularly challenging in the downtown area where there are a lot of conflicting movements of pedestrians and vehicles.
Maintaining Walnut Creek as a pedestrian-friendly city is an ongoing task. The city has also widened the crosswalk at Mount Diablo Boulevard and Main Street to accommodate the growing number of shoppers crossing between Broadway Plaza and Broadway Point. Crosswalks have also been done in brick or blue to heighten their visibility to motorists. A flashing beacon on Geary Road at the Canal Trail crossing is another pedestrian safety feature. At key crossings on Main and Locust Streets, so-called neck downs have been reduced to create shorter crosswalks, making it easier and quicker for pedestrians to cross the street. Other ways the city has made it easier for pedestrians to get around are wider sidewalks in the downtown age and improved street lighting. Also, the city requires developers to build protective pedestrian enclosures near construction work. Because school-age pedestrians are at greatest risk of being involved in an accident, the police department administers a crossing guard program that is providing 10 adult crossing guards throughout Walnut Creek. However, despite all the city's efforts, pedestrian safety has been a challenge. In 1999, there were 18 separate accidents involving pedestrians. The most tragic occurred on June 22, 1999, when a 15-year-old girl was killed in a crosswalk on Ignacio Valley Road in front of John Muir Medical Center. She had crossed against the red light and was struck by an oncoming car. Another 17 pedestrians were injured in a variety of accidents, the majority a result of the pedestrian either jaywalking or crossing against the red light. Pedestrians should remember to cross streets only at intersections, to make eye contact with drivers before stepping in front of their vehicle, to always watch for turning vehicles, and to cross quickly and be alert. It's wise to also remember that pedestrians should never expect to have the right-of-way when crossing a street. Be smart and be safe. Statistics in the early 1990s showed that someone in the U.S. died in an alcohol-related traffic collision every 15 minutes.
Would you take the van? The driver here said that he had been drinking, so we're going to go ahead and test him for DUI. Obviously, we got critical, possibly fatal here and here. You guys can work on him. We'll deal with the ambulance.
Okay, we're gonna pull the fatal out, get them out of the way.
Nationally, auto crashes are the leading cause of death for teenagers between the ages of 15 and 19. More than 750 junior and senior students at Las Lomas High School on March 14th got a sobering look at the tragic consequences of drinking and driving as part of a city-sponsored education program for teens called Every 15 Minutes. On a closed portion of South Broadway, the police department staged a mock collision that graphically illustrated for Las Lomas's youngest drivers the potentially deadly aftermath of mixing alcohol and driving.
Today's event, I thought it was a really interesting presentation. I think it really did prove the point to a lot of people to be a lot more careful and actually what can happen to you when you do drink and drive.
The program was the combined effort of nearly 100 community volunteers, including Las Lomas students and parents, city employees, school administrators, and representatives from other public agencies. The Every 15 Minutes program was funded by a $4,000 grant from the State Office of Traffic Safety and the Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control.
All of us who are involved in this program feel that if this program makes one kid think before they get behind the wheel of a car after they've consumed some alcohol, then the program has done its job. We're hoping it will save a life and change somebody's mind about risky decisions that they might otherwise make.
Longfellow wrote, "Art is long and time is fleeting." In Walnut Creek, public art almost seems to typify that poetic statement as residents scurry about their town in any number of activities, chasing time, and in the process, perhaps missing the cultural ornaments of their community. But Walnut Creek embraces public art in a way that is uncommon in many other local communities. It is a way for the community to create beauty in our buildings and public places. For starters, it's a way to enhance the streetscape. Public art adorns the front of many buildings in Walnut Creek. Some of it is traditional, much of it is modern, all of it is public.
Over the years, Walnut Creek has become host to well over 40 pieces of wonderful public art. The one reason we like having public art here in Walnut Creek is because it's a civic asset. It creates positive, memorable images, and in a sense it helps create the identity of our city. It serves as a marker or almost a signature for who we are, and it helps our outside communities remember something special about Walnut Creek.
Among Walnut Creek's nearly 40 pieces of public art, Benny Bufano's stunning Hand of Peace from 1967 in the Quail Court Office Park, Richard Ellis's Family, Bolero, 1988, by Robert Holmes in front of 500 Ignacio Plaza at the corner of North Main Street and Ignacio Valley Road. Jerome Kirk's Tiltambulation, 1984, in front of 1600 Riviera. Benny and Goodman by D. Ellen Beinhorn at Broadway Plaza. Jacques Overhoff's Lost in the Mail, 1985, in front of Civic Plaza at North Main Street and Civic Drive. And Dan Dyke's Wings, 1986, in front of the Locust Street Garage.
I think public art is an expression of the vitality of the community. When it's very successful, it's when the community has a long-term plan and the artists and the plan and the community work together to create a vision of the community, and that's when it's the best and the most successful.
For more information about Walnut Creek's Art in Public Places program, contact the Bedford Gallery at 925-295-1417. Walnut Creek residents will have another opportunity to help clean their downtown creeks at the annual Creek Cleanup on Saturday, May 6th. Volunteers are needed from 9 a.m. to noon. Sign up at Civic Park near the gazebo. Be sure to wear old tennis shoes and expect to get wet. All participants will be treated to a free barbecue lunch afterward in the park. The event is co-sponsored by the City of Walnut Creek and Friends of the Creeks. For more information, call Dave Wallace at 943-5829.